Hi, everybody. I'm Samantha Calamares with App Properties. Today, I'm interviewing two wonderful women from our community. They are both wives, busy moms, beautiful souls, and involved full-time to grow the women's ministry at the local churches where their husbands are the lead pastors. Natalie Mudd and Amy Goodman, thank you for your time today. I'm so grateful.
Hi, we're so glad you're here.
So honored to be here. Thanks for having us, Samantha.
Sure, good. Okay, I'd like to ask you each to introduce yourself a little bit. Tell us about your connection to the community. Tell us about your church and when your husbands and you took your current positions. And Natalie, let's start with you.
Sure. Hi, I'm Natalie Mudd, and my husband Dave and I, we have 4 kids. Our oldest just started driving in the fall. She's 16. And we have a 14-year-old son and a 10-year-old daughter and another son who is 6. So they range from 16 to 6, which is crazy because obviously it's it's busy and such different seasons for sure. We pastor Alpine Chapel in Lake Zurich. We have been here for 8 years now. But I have grown up in Lake Zurich my whole life, pretty much.
That's great. Thank you. And Amy, what about you?
Hi, I'm Amy Goodman. My husband, Skylar, is the lead pastor at Heritage Church here in Lake Zurich. We have 3 kiddos. My oldest is 12, Oliver, Violet is 10, and my youngest is almost 5, Willow. Our youngest was recently diagnosed with autism. She's had special needs for a few years. And so that's something new in our family that we are blossoming in and learning a lot. We have been with Heritage Church for 4 years. Easter was our 4-year anniversary. Before that, we've been at a previous church, Northwest Family Church, actually with Dave and Natalie too. We were all on staff together, which was awesome. That was in 2001. So we've been in Lake Zurich for quite a while now. And our church also has campuses in Round Lake Beach and Libertyville, and we are looking to do a 4th campus. And it's a brand new season for all of us, and we're excited to be here together with you guys.
Good. Thank you, guys. I do appreciate your time. Okay, let's just get started. So people can't come to church right now. Your doors are closed just like every other business out there. And right now, tell me, how are you keeping connected to your congregation and your community? Amy, let's start with you.
Sure. I think that word connection is the perfect word to use. We all obviously are social distancing, which means further away from each other, but the church at its core is always trying to bring people closer together no matter what season we're in. So the word connection has been key for us. What I love, honestly, and Natalie, you're probably really similar in this season, but the things that we have been doing privately for years, praying for people, gathering together to worship, not just outside of a Sunday, but learning together, loving together, meeting needs are now becoming public. So what people think was the church was just a Sunday morning, for our whole lives has been like a 24/7 thing, like when you're involved in something and it's your lifestyle, which is awesome now that the church is not just a Sunday morning anymore. So what I love is that our church has been able to just obviously open up on social media. It's like our one way, right? On video, online, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, to connect with people, but not just offering programs and Bible studies and to-do list, but this like face-to-face connection. So I love our church has done an awesome job. Every day they have a psalm, like a devotional, which is just learning something about the Bible and making it practical to your everyday life. So they have a psalm that they're doing every day, Psalm 1, Psalm 2, Psalm 3, Psalm 4. And so they have a video of that we're doing every day. Fearless Mom, our mom's group, does a shout out every day. Marriage Mondays, we call it. We have a marriage video that we offer. Wednesdays is a worship song. I like how it's like a marriage Monday, Wednesday worship. I think they did that on purpose. Our youth group does an online thing on Wednesdays. Thursdays we're praying online. Sundays obviously are our church services in the mornings, but again, everything is online, which is making it more accessible to everybody, And again, a connection piece like this where I can look in your eyes, I can hear your voice. I can talk with you. And even when it's not that, do you guys love the chat threads? Like that, not that we can always be Zooming all the time, but when you're involved in the watching, there's always that chat piece. There's the comment piece where there's the ultimate connection where I can go even on Natalie's service, or I can watch your YouTube videos or your video, Sam, and I can leave comments. I think connection is probably our number one thing that we love in general, but now it's not just a private thing where we're connecting privately, but we're able to connect publicly. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. Yeah, me too. I love the chats where you're just still, you don't have to talk every day, but you just see whatever somebody's saying to keep updated. Natalie, how about you? How are you guys staying in touch with your community?
Yeah. Well, we have had our doors open now Monday through Sunday, Monday through Friday, 9 to 4. And then even on Sundays, our doors are actually open 8 to 1 for people in the community to come and pray. We have obviously been practicing the social distancing, but the reason for our doors being open is because of our food pantry and just connecting with local organizations. People are dropping off food and there's different things going on throughout the week. So our staff has been rotating. Everybody is scheduled. It's like 2 people each day to be at the church. But with that, we've been saying as a church, it's every day over one day. So before, it seemed like we were just gathering on Sundays, but now it's every day. And just like Amy is saying, and I know a lot of the other churches in the community, again, are just providing different things for just community and connection. And I'm so thankful that we have just the social media and Zoom platforms and all of that. And a lot like Amy was saying, we have every day there's been something, a connecting point even throughout the week for each of the ministries. And recently what we have been putting into practice is we believe so much that hope needs a collective. And so the beauty of the body coming together and people in the community using the way God has gifted them. And so we have started on Wednesdays after our prayer for mental illness. We're covering depression this week. So after our prayer, there's counselors jumping on talking about mental illness. And then we have task force together, which Samantha, I think you're familiar with this. I think you might be a part of it, but for small business owners and just reaching out to people just for support because there's so much going on and even like family support and all of that. So each day busy. Again, we've been, and not busy because I don't want to seem, because this time we really, it's important, I think, now that we've had everything stripped away and kind of cleared away, like the clutter, just to kind of really be present. And we've been saying, just be present with Jesus, be present with your family, be present with community, and be present with mission, all of those things. And I don't think it's a matter of being busy, but just offering to people just the support that they need, because we all have different areas where we need support right now, and it looks different. And that's where it's like that collective of coming together. And here are these opportunities. You don't have to be a part of any of them, but if you do want to connect, here you go. And one thing we were really surprised in the beginning of this whole pandemic, I forget who decided this. It was one of our, either Dave or executive pastor, to take on calling our entire database. And I thought, calling people, like talking to people on the phone individually, taking on this whole database and calling and splitting it up with staff. And like, I know for me, I don't want to answer the phone if I don't know the person who's calling me. But we took that on and just asked, what is your need? How could we be praying? And if you want community, join a community group in this season to support one another. We were blown away by the response of people having to, because of their compromised immune system and can't get out, like how many people actually needed prayer, how many people one of the phone calls came when it was the death of their daughter, the 3rd anniversary. And it just blew us away, that just a simple call. So, as much as it seems like it's busy, it's providing these simple ways for people in the season to really connect and be able to use what God has gifted you in and be a blessing to our community.
Sure. That leads me perfectly into my next question, which is, in times of need, people rely on their church. Since the pandemic, are you seeing people feeling more connected to their faith, or some feeling despondent and disconnected? You've touched a lot on this already, but Amy, I'll let you start on that.
Sure. To be honest, I definitely think that when trauma or trials come, you always have two choices. You can either sink in further, pull out the covers over your head, sink in further and continue to like spiral down into the trauma and into the trial, or, which is what we all did at first, right? Like, let's be honest. I did that at first. Underneath, I like took Jesus with me, but I was still under the blanket. Like, this is dark, this is heavy, this is different. And then there's that point where it's too much to take, right? It's too much news, it's too much grief, it's too much darkness to take. And that is where Jesus shines the brightest, right? Like when you're at your darkest or when you're seeing so much dark, I believe that's where Jesus' light shines the brightest. So it could just be like a ray of sunshine that somebody needs, or like a little flashlight clicker or something. But when you can't stay in the dark that much, right? There's always a choice, or I'm going to stay here or I'm going to look for light. And so that light, I believe, is what every single person is looking for right now.
Right. It's a great thing that you guys are constantly speaking to your community via social media, because that gives them an outlet. It gives them, when they're feeling that way and they want to just crawl into a hole and just take away everything, they see a post or they see something that pulls them back in. Natalie, would you agree?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I think in these kind of times that people are vulnerable and just open to needing hope. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, we have seen people really it actually has surprised us. Last week, our Easter week, we were trying to just think of something simple just to offer some kind of just hope, not knowing how people would receive it. And we came up with this silly idea of hope baskets. And we delivered them, and we were like, are people going to respond to this? Or what will they think of this? And the response blew us away, with just people who are of a total different faith emailing us and just reaching out. So I definitely think people are looking for just hope, and they're very open. For sure.
It's open, right? It's kind of setting aside your personal beliefs, or right now we need to be together. Natalie, I was very fortunate. I got to interview with the CEO and president of the Northern Illinois Food Bank. And I know that Alpine has a food pantry every Saturday. I'm going to ask you two questions here. Would you please tell me about it and how people can participate? And please let us know how people can support the pantry with donations right now, because I'm sure that you have such a high increase of demand and need during the economic shutdown that has left so many without a steady income. Can you tell us about the food pantry?
Absolutely. We have our food pantry. Our food pantry is called Reach Food Pantry, and it has been around for a while. And we have amazing teams that run this every every Saturday morning, sorry, not Sunday. And we are partnered with several of stores in the community and Illinois Food Bank, and where we get shipments in weekly. And so the food pantry actually, just today, they have set up on Fridays where the shipments come in, and it takes a lot of volunteers, because the food pantry before was ran where people would take a number when they come in and sign in, and there's hundreds of people packed into our lobby. And now with all the social distancing and everything, it is our teams have had to really come up with abiding by all of the social distancing rules that are out there that have been, and making sure that everybody is safe, and even our volunteers that come in. And so on Fridays now, they pack hundreds of boxes and they prep everything. So the lobby is filled with grocery carts and boxes, and our volunteers get everything prepped and ready. And it's a kind of a drive up. The people don't get out of their car, and the food is placed right into their cars. And those who cannot come, we deliver it to them. So everybody has, masks and gloves and everything. And it has been so cool because the businesses and people in the community, even Heritage, they have collected food. Several organizations have collected, and we have drop off all week long for anybody who wants to be a part of this. There's been so many people, even Melanie, and on occasion, all kinds of where they're doing these initiatives where it's like 20% goes to the food pantry. And it's been amazing because there's so many people that are actually in need. They're not working. This has caused, people to have to stay home, and they don't have the weekly money for groceries. And so it has been so cool seeing our community come together. It's not even about, I'm just thankful that we have these amazing volunteers that have had this pantry, that had this passion and heart to start it years ago. And now seeing that today that we're able to still be open, and it's full support. Even the police station, everybody is in full support of it. And we're making sure that people are safe, and we're able to get those who need groceries that are in need. We're able to get those because of everybody. It's not even because of us. It's because of all the churches in the community, all the businesses and everything. So I'm super, super thankful for everybody who's been a part.
And Natalie, I have to tell you, when I drive by on a Saturday, the parking lot is full, and it brings tears to my eyes. And our family is just so thankful that you guys are able to do this, that this is part of your mission. And we just I kind of want to honk my horn every time, because it's usually my Starbucks run. Like, I got to get out of the house. It's a Saturday. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. But we're so, just to let you know, the whole neighborhood, the whole community is cheering you guys on doing that.
And if you need to see any positive images, there's so many great photos of what you guys are doing, and it's showing that you're taking precautions, that you are aware of the social distancing. But these people that are going out there and serving their community on a weekly basis, I'm just in awe, because the food insecurity is going to continue to be a dire need to people, and it's one less thing that they have to worry about. So instead of saying, am I going to buy groceries, or am I going to put it towards my rent, they say, well, at least we can depend on Alpine on Saturday. So that's great. We'll jump to the next question. You're both on the front lines. You see firsthand many of the needs before anybody else does. And my question to you, which we've touched a lot on already, is how would you advise someone that's seeking help, looking for guidance, in need of an empathetic ear during this uncertain time? How do you get to them? And I mean, I love the phone calls that you guys are making. That's such a great way to reach out to somebody. Amy, how do you advise somebody that just might need an extra?
Obviously online is the easiest way to do anything right now, prayerfully that you have an internet access. I know on our church website, the first thing that pops up is a little, a pop-up window that says, hi, how can we help you? And so I love that so much. There's a, how can we pray for you? How can we help you? How can you help? Because there's people on both sides of the coin, right? There's people who need help, and then there's other people who want to help. So trying to connect everyone together to help do what the world needs right now. What I love so much, the website is good, but then I love the personal. One of our campuses in Libertyville created these postcards, and it said, hi, my name is, and you fill it out, and it said, my cell phone is, and it said, how can I help you? And it had like 5 different ways that they could help you. How can I pray for you? And they dropped it off throughout their whole neighborhood. Right? Can I pick up groceries? Can I help clean? Can I do all these things? Are there specific needs? And I love that so much. And just a few weeks ago, we had one at our door. It was like this awesome letter written from a few families in our neighborhood. Sam, I don't know if you got one. We're kind of in a similar neighborhood. Yeah. But it was awesome because it was from a family from Natalie's church. And it just said, here's who we are. 3 of us families, we're here to help with cell phones. This is a church we go to if you need anything. And as I sent a picture to Natalie, awesome job, well done. Yeah. Of course, internet is wonderful, but those personal connections are so good. And I think one of the things that I'm learning too is that Yes, we're a part of like a big organization, but sometimes, Natalie, I don't know if you're the same way. I can get really overwhelmed about meeting the needs of thousands. Then I can get overwhelmed meeting the needs of hundreds. Then I can get overwhelmed meeting the needs of my 10 friends that are close. And then I can get overwhelmed meeting the needs of just my family, right? So I have to start backwards. Instead of going out, I'm trying to come in of meeting personally the needs of my family and doing for one what I wish I could do for all. That's kind of the phrase in our family right now, is do for one what you wish you could do for all. So do I wish that I could have egged everyone's house for Easter and put Easter eggs in your house and your house and your house and done the whole thing? I wish I could have, but I could do it for one person. So I did it for my kiddos, and I did it for one extra person. When I'm in a Starbucks run, I try to get an extra cup of something and drop it off at somebody's door. There's those little things that sometimes people, I myself included, can get overwhelmed or thinking, well, businesses can do this, but what can I do? So we're trying to teach our kids to do for one what you could wish you could do for all. Our kids right now are helping make each other's beds in the morning. How incredible is that? You know, like little things that you, Violet said the other day, can we bake something for our neighbors? Because I'm always baking here now, right? And I said, I don't know if they'd like to eat something from us, you know, like that's new. So we could buy something for them, like buy some groceries, put it on somebody's door. So I think those are the ways that we're trying to look at right now too with our church, of connecting personally online, but then obviously one-on-one too. Even though you can't be right next to each other, they can still feel the love.
Yeah, sure, because somebody's gonna get that, and they're gonna pay it forward.
That's right? Exactly what we said. That's the ripple effect of, if one person does it for one person, that person does it for another person. That's how you meet the needs of thousands. You can always, as churches, we're so blessed to be able to meet thousands at one time, but sometimes as one person you think, I could never do that. So it's this awesome full circle rhythm, I think, that we're trying, that we're doing our best at.
Yeah, Natalie, how about you?
Yeah, Amy, I love all that. And just even about the one, there is hope needs a collective, and there's beauty again in the body. And I think it can get overwhelming at times of all the needs, but there is so much resource and so much out there, even through all of the churches in the community. And again, it's like, it's about the big C. It's not even about Alpine Chapel. Look at it. It's about all of that, and everybody taking their part in what they feel like God is asking them to do in this season and doing it. And for us, we have this site, it's called Hope Hub, and it's the haves and needs. And so the haves are, okay, I am a counselor, I'm a doc, I'm a business owner. These are the things that I have. And then there is the option of just here are my needs, and there's prayer requests and everything. So we have this Hope Hub where you can go to, and where people can feel like, we've had so many people feeling like, obviously they have to be at home. They're like, I want to help in some way. How do I do this? And just for an example, one lady, she decided to make all these meals and deliver them to our teen mothers. We have teen mother choices, and it's beautiful. Just about, she wasn't, didn't have to do it for the mass amounts, but even just the few girls she was able to do it for is just a blessing. So our focus has really just been on, again, just sending everybody to the Hope Hub and connecting people. And again, just making sure that people have some kind of sense of community around them, because during this time, people that are struggle with depression and addictions and all that are really, it's a struggle, just being isolated. And so just through the Hope Hub and just the different people that have said, yes, I want to help somebody because God has gifted me in this, and connecting those people together.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, hearing all these things that you guys are currently doing for the community, it fills my heart, and I know it fills so many other people's hearts. We're going to shift gears just a tad bit. We're going to talk about some of the really great work that you guys have done. So at your ministry, at your churches, you guys have Natalie. I had the really good fortune of being part of MOPS at Alpine. It was such a great experience for me. I enjoyed meeting the other moms and that time together where we were supporting each other. Could you tell us a little briefly about MOPS and how MOPS Next even came? Because I wasn't a mom of preschoolers, but I still came.
Yeah, no. So MOPS, I joined MOPS about 16 years ago, and MOPS has been around for a really long time. And I remember when I first heard, it was Stephanie Piggott. She's in Lake Zurich. She's a teacher in Lake Zurich. Our daughters were in preschool together, and she invited me to MOPS. I'm like, what is MOPS? That's like, that name sounds so weird. And again, it's mothers of preschoolers, and it's moms of any ages, because there's MOPS and Moms Next. But I joined MOPS at Alpine when I was at Northwest Family Church with Amy, and it was 16 years ago. And the beautiful thing about MOPS is that it's connecting moms that are in the same season, dealing with the same things. And there's just so much beauty in being able to share with one another, hearing a speaker, being together at a table, sharing a meal, having discussion, just mom to mom, and just being real to one another. And so I have been a part of it. I still have not left. I'm still a part of our MOPS program. I have another girl, Beth, who runs our program now, who's the coordinator, but I'm super passionate about it because I have seen just the support that it has given the moms through just so much. You know, moms, we deal with a lot of just different seasons and everything. And I think the Moms Next, that is so crucial. I understand it now even more because I have teenagers, and Moms Next is obviously for moms who have older kids, and we need it just as much as when you have toddlers, because the things our kids are up against as teenagers blows me away. And so Moms Next provides that community of women who could just say, me too, I'm in the same season as you, and I get it, I'm here. And just being able to gather and pray and support and just cheer one another on, it has just been such a lifesaver. And I have not left MOPS. I mean, I choose to be a part of MOPS. I don't have to go, but I actually want to, because I have loved seeing what it's been for other moms, and even what it's been and meant to me as well.
Sure. Yeah, it's a really great program. And so when I was talking to some people that I was going to interview you guys, Amy, I was asking somebody about, what should I make sure I touch on? And somebody said, well, Amy's a huge dreamer, and do you know about Fearless Mom? And I'm like, no, I knew nothing about it. So it's similar to MOPS, but tell me about Fearless Mom.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that us three were a part of MOPS 10 years ago together at the same time. Do you remember that season that we were all at MOPS together, Alpine, which is so incredible. And what a foundation that it laid for my own motherhood journey. And so we at Northwest Family Church, previous to Heritage, had MOPS and a Moms Next. We had a morning group, and we had a PM group, an evening group for moms who are working. And I remember moving from a MOPS to a Moms Next, which is for elementary to high school moms, and loving that so much. And we had both programs at our church as well. And several years ago, I met a woman, Julie Richard, and she is the founder of Fearless Mom. It's based out of a church in Texas, in Austin, Texas, Lake Hills Church. And I heard her speak, and immediately I wanted to be her, like, not just who she was, but I wanted my motherhood journey to look like hers, I guess is a better way to say it. And I went to this conference for several years in a row, heard her more, started following her videos online. She's a Fearless Mom curriculum and a Fearless Mom that's all based on her own studies. And she's a researcher and a mom, and she has her degree in special education. And she's also a pastor's wife. And I followed her for several years and got to know her a little bit more. And it just seemed like the next step from a MOPS to Moms Next to a Fearless Mom. The main difference, I guess, would be Fearless Mom is for moms of all ages and stages. So you could be an empty nester who still needs her mom friends and who still needs motherhood wisdom as an empty nester, and you could have an infant. And so what I love, we're similar to a MOPS group like Natalie's group. You do sit at your own table, your own group of like 6 to 10 moms who are in similar seasons, and those are your groupies for the whole year. So that's been an awesome part too, to see these groups of women that I get to call my tribe, big tribe, and then I have my own smaller tribe. But what Fearless Mom helps, the consistent thing with Fearless Mom is that we are following our mom coach of life, who's Julie Richard, based in Austin, Texas. So you're following her as you're walking through your own motherhood journey, but you're learning from her online videos. You know how we all have something in our life we really want to be good at? Obviously, it's parenting, but sometimes I don't focus on parenting, or sometimes I want to work out here, or I want to do really good at baking, or I want to do really good at running. There's something that you want to be good at. I really want to always pour into my motherhood journey, especially in this season. So what I love about Fearless Mom is no matter where you are, whether you have postpartum that you're walking through, or whether you're walking through your son's addiction when he's a grown up, there's something at one stage in our lives we're all going to need to be fearless in. We're all going to need a fearless tribe around us to help support us, to learn from, to grow in. And I believe Fearless Mom is that for me, for our church. I love that we all have different things that our church offers, for sure. And I think that's my favorite thing, is that Fearless Mom does that and shows me where I want to go in my motherhood journey. And I'm loving it. Our moms are loving it. And especially being fearless right now, right? Yes. We say we've been calling ourselves fearless, and right now we're actually have to like do it, you know? Yes. And so it's been an awesome foundation where God has taken us over 3 years to show us where we are right now. Has been awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. And let's remind everybody that you don't have to be part of your church or your congregation in order to participate in these. And you can be from any faith as well. Like the doors are open. Yeah, you just have to register.
Right. Even if you don't believe in the Bible or believe what the Bible says, take it as a really great parenting book. These tools are so incredible. Follow these as a parenting book for you, and you'll see your parenting and your motherhood journey take off and be changed. It's life-changing. So no matter where you are in your faith, go for it. So we love that so much. Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay, Natalie, you have one night coming up soon, and normally this is a very busy, packed event, but you had to kind of say, all right, what are we going to do? Let's shift gears. We got to do it from home now. So tell me about this night.
Yeah, we just so want to provide something for the women. You know, we're at home, we're stuck at home. And so we were just kind of like thinking like, what is something we could do? Like, we've done a lot of Zooms. And then we just decided, you know what, let's have a pajama party. And so what greater way to gather? We will unite together just online in our pajamas and just provide something fun, some giveaways that will be delivered the next day to some of the girls that win to their doors, and just some encouragement. And we know it's going to look totally different, but we are just hoping and praying that women will just come and gather. And the cool thing about, you know, Facebook Live is you can save it and they could watch it whenever. So it's not the ideal way to gather, but we're just thankful that just the different platforms and different ways that we can connect through social media and all that. So yeah, we're super excited.
And it's April 24th, right? At
yes.
What time?
Next Friday, a week away. We'll be live at 7 p.m.
Great, good. Amy, you typically have your event, like you have blooms and then bloomies for our little ones. Could you briefly tell me about that?
Sure. Yep. Just like everybody else, when you have a big event, right now it's not happening. So we had our Bloom conference was for May 1st and 2nd. That's for girls in high school and above. And our Bloomies conference the next weekend in May for first graders to eighth graders. And that's just a one-day conference for girls to come and be poured into, loved on, and make new friends. And so, of course, we could have postponed it or canceled it and just waited till next year. But prayerfully right now, it is in September, hoping that everything can go still as planned. But September 11th and 12th, and then September 19th are our conferences. And you know what the incredible thing is, the conference, and as Natalie is this really similar in this way too, we pray about these conferences and these events, not just on that weekend. It's not like, oh, May 1st, we've been praying about May 1st. We're praying for like a year ahead of time, months ahead of time about what these events look like. And so months ago, last summer, a year ago, God gave this incredible theme called Made for This for our Bloom and Bloomies conference. And so even though our team of 20, our core Bloom team, we're talking about what we're made for connection, made to be intentional, made to love, made to give, made to surrender. We've been praying all of these made for this words. And now we're in the season where we actually are looking at God saying, Amy, you were made for this. Amy, you were made for this quarantine. Amy, you were made to get through this. Amy, you were made to love your family. Amy, you were made, Natalie, you were made to give in this way. Sam, you were made to create connection online for this. So how incredible that God gave us this vision, as he does in all of our one nights or your professional, business activity too, Sam. God is saying, you were made for this. Now watch, now act on it. So how incredible. So we are prayerfully hoping that it can happen in September. We have everything was prepped and ready to go for May 1st. So we are way ahead of the game right now. But all of us are going, you know what? There's an awesome verse in Esther, the book of Esther, Esther 4:14. It says, perhaps you were created for such a time as this. And so I think that's what we're holding on to as a team. We're holding on to and sharing that word of, we were created for such a time as this, even in the mess and even in the yuck of what it seems like. I'm praying that some of these things, instead of saying this too shall pass, a new flip the script is this too shall last. So God, what do you want to do in my life right now that will last? Instead of hoping the pandemic passes, of course it will pass, but what are we doing in our lives right now and in our homes and in our friendships that will last? And so, hey, made for this 100%. So
yes.
Hopefully it will happen in September.
Yes, I hope so too. So you guys, I'm so thankful for your time. And while I was preparing for this, I reached out to some people just to get some guidance and some people close to you guys. Before we wrap up and you can tell me how people can find you, I wrote down these bullets and I've been looking at them. And as I looked at them, I said to myself, I want to be more like these women. Because I want people to say things like this about me. Natalie, leader, giving women a face and helping them find their place in this world, helping women be connected, spreading hope, keeping community alive, supports people and helps them with their needs, whether it be spiritually, financially, or emotionally. And then I love the quote that I found on your website, we who are many are never more powerful than when we are one. Amy, leader, she's in everyone's corner, extremely authentic, willing to share her good and her bad, makes our community better, your biggest cheerleader. Anything you are working for, she's 100% behind you, huge dreamer, and super inclusive, meaning she doesn't leave anybody out. I could not thank you guys more for your time today. It was my honor to speak with you and to help spread your word. Natalie, can you tell us how we can find you and where people can find more information about your church?
Sure. Thank you so much again, Samantha, just for your time and just interviewing us. And we love you and we appreciate how you're doing these interviews, and it's just a blessing. So thank you. People can find us by going to aclz.org/HopeHub, and right on there, you can find everything you need.
Good, thank you. And Amy?
Sam, thank you so much. Of course you ended that way, because that is so your heart, is to love on other people. And so I love that you put all this time and energy about knowing about us and our details and putting this entire interview together, because at your heart is that you love other people so well. Thank you so much, Sam. Our website is heritagechurch.cc. You can find each of our campuses for Round Lake Beach and Libertyville there. And yeah, we'd love to hang out and see you all the time.
Yeah, we will get through this, ladies. And again, I can't describe the amount of, I love that you said we're not busy, Natalie. I just want to close on that. You're not busy. This is what you were meant to do. This is your purpose. This is what you're giving back. And so many people are going to be thankful. I did get that phone call from somebody, Natalie, and I just smiled and I was like, wow, okay, wow, that was really nice. Thank you guys for your time. I'll be sure to share this everywhere so that everybody can watch and enjoy what I just got to do. So thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate it.
Natalie.
Thank you. Good to see all of you.
Bye.
Bye.